Welcome to this week's ripoff of the week. And we've got a great topic this week on the United States Post Office. Can't wait to jump into it. Just a brief review on the mission and impacts of openthebooks.com. Last year, we filed 40,000 Freedom of Information Act requests, and that was the most in American history. So today, we're going to talk about the post office. And, we've showcased Dr. Anthony Fauci's salary because we filed our request with the federal executive agencies and found Fauci was making the most money. Recently, in past weeks, we've talked about the Kennedy Center because we're holding the federal checkbook, and we're actually holding 11,000 municipal level checkbooks in 49 out of 50 states. We've sued California for their checkbook. So with that brief recap, last year we captured $6 trillion of federal, state, and local spending. You can see it all at openthebooks.com. All right, let's get into this week's topic on the United States Post Office. And I want to introduce my co-host, Tamara Colbert.
Good evening, Adam.
Hey,
Good
Tamara.
evening, and to all of our frozen friends across the country. This is a great topic this week. So the U.S. Postal Service has a $37 billion payroll, and the mail is late. Give us the overview of the investigation Open the Books is working on now.
So I can tell you that we got donations that were mailed in December of 2020, and we got those donations up to 6 weeks later, a couple of those letters. So what we did is we investigated the United States Post Office. This week, the Postmaster General got himself in hot water because he said that the post office would have to scale back first-class mail services to be able to cure some of these systemic cost problems that cause them to lose money. So here's the top line. Over the course of the last 12 years, the post office, our auditors determined that the post office has lost $80 billion. Just in the last 2 years, the post office has lost $18 billion. Between the 2019 and 2020 payroll, 2020 is obviously the coronavirus pandemic year, the post office added 54,000 employees to their payroll. They now have 678,000 employees. That payroll in 2020 was up $9 billion. And it's a total payroll, as you mentioned, Tamara, of $37 billion. And so why can't we get our mail on time?
I mean, Adam, this is just crazy. So are they getting COVID? I mean, if you're adding $9 billion in payroll as a failing organization, first of all, in the real world, that just doesn't happen because you will have accountability. Are they getting COVID bailouts from Congress, or where's the money coming from?
So the COVID bailout was a matter of big public debate, obviously, and it still is because the post office has had in hand to Congress asking for more. So in the CARES Act, it was passed that there was an $11 billion loan from the Treasury Department to the post office, and that helped them paper over their losses last year. Last year, they lost $9.2 billion. So this $10 billion loan helps them paper over those losses. Look, people are calling for all kinds of reform at the post office.
I mean, when you think about also, we can even talk about during the election, they were finding mail ballots that had been mailed in rivers, stuffed in dumpsters. I mean, the back of postal workers' cars. I mean, we've seen this before. So how many post offices are we talking about, and how many pieces of mail get delivered every year?
So in 2019, the post office delivered about 143 billion, they claim, letters. That's how many deliveries they make. So it's an extraordinary operation. Now, last year, that mail delivery was down about 13 billion deliveries. However, their package delivery was up. They actually increased their gross revenues last year to $73 billion. But here's the deal. Here's what our auditors found. For every dollar of sales increase, the post office costs went up by $1.15. So the more they sold last year, the more money they lost.
I just don't even know how that is possible. I mean,
Well,
Adam,
I mean, there's critics out there, right? So here's what the
right.
critics are saying: that this thing needs to be privatized. This is an ossified government agency. It can't reform itself, although it has an extraordinary mission. It delivers mail to 160 million U.S. households. So I think you got to give them some credit. So we dug into the payroll numbers. Incredibly, here's what we found. We found there are 549 post office employees that have been on the job for more than 50 years.
Oh my goodness.
There's 8,000 post office employees that have been on the job for more than 40 years. There's 80,000 post office workers that have been on the job for more than 30 years. And 215,000 post office employees have been on the job for more than 20 years. So the critics, they're saying that this is an ossified, slow-moving organization and they need workplace payroll reform. Here's a simple reform that may help them get them moving a little faster. Just mandatory retirement age.
Right. I mean, that's just common sense. Here's the question that I'm seeing come through right now is, what about pensions? You're talking 559 people who have a 40-plus year pension and another 8,000 with a 30-year pension. I mean, these are serious pensions we're talking about, in addition to the billions of loss. Can we turn this around? Can they turn this around?
Well, the Democratic reform proposal on the post office pension is not to fully fund it every single year. Right now, the post office loses money, their supporters say, because they have to fully fund the obligations of the pension plan. And that in large part is true. However, the Democrats right now, with their bill in Congress, they want to decouple that. They want to say that you don't have to fund that pension plan in real time. And that would alleviate, the Democrats say, some pressure on this budget. But eventually, it catches up with the retirees. Look, there's one guy, and really hats off to this guy. He's 87 years old. He's at the post office in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. We got the payroll file. We organized it from high to low on the longevity of the workers. He's been on the job for 70 years. Tamara, he's been on the job for roughly 1 out of every 3 years that the United States of America has been in existence. This guy is an American hero. He's at that post office in Oklahoma City for the last 70 years.
Well, a guy like that should be given, the the obligatory gold watch, and say, hey, you have given it all to the post office, and now you get to go enjoy your twilight years in retirement. I mean, hats off to somebody like that. I mean, that really does lend well to the postal motto, right? Through sleet and rain and snow after this week we've had.
Well, after sleet, rain, and snow, Tamara, it's time to go fishing after 70 years.
Right. I mean, Adam, come on. This is total madness. So what can we do? What's the open the books recommendation or solution for this mess?
Well, right now, we need to raise our voice. The Democrats in Congress and the House, they're trying to push forward this $1.9 trillion spending bill. Tucked inside that bill is going to be all kinds of taxpayer abuse, including, quote unquote, spending at the post office that has not been publicly debated. The Dems are going to drop this massive omnibus spending bill. They're only going to give a couple of hours to know what's in that bill. They're going to try to pass this bill, and we simply want to call for a 72-hour timeout to read the bill. If our representatives in Congress don't have time to simply read the bill, do we really have a representative republic?
Exactly. I mean, I'm looking at, we've got great comments. Thank you, everybody who is posting. You've got tremendous insight and comments tonight. Thank you so much. Look, Adam, here's the bottom line, right? That the people that are so upset that we're seeing, what can they do right now?
So go to openthebooks.com and sign that petition. There's a petition tab across the top of our website. Just click it. Sign the petition to read the bill, and then call your member of Congress and ask them. In the coming week, there's going to be legislation submitted into the United States Senate on Read the Bill. And when that bill comes out on Wednesday, if you're on our email subscriber list or on this Facebook page, you're going to know about it. And it's time to raise your voice and call your member of Congress and ask them to sponsor that bill. 72-hour timeout to simply read it. Read the bill.
Absolutely. Do we have a bill number yet in the Senate? Is there a bill number we could post?
No, it's coming out of U.S. Senator Rick Scott out of Florida. There are Senate sponsors to that bill, and it should be bipartisan. I mean, even AOC in the House, has taken to Twitter saying that they need time to read the bill. So hopefully this will have some legs.
Absolutely. I think it will. So openthebooks.com, go there, sign the petition. Now, Adam, that petition then goes, when they put in a zip code or that, and it goes right to their legislator, correct?
Well, it doesn't go to the legislator, but as soon as we get a material number of signatures, we will send it to their legislators.
Okay, fantastic. That's how it works. Openthebooks.com, click the link, sign that petition. Open the Books will help it get to your legislator. Adam, you get the last word. Anything else that our viewing audience can do?
So this piece on the U.S. Post Office will go up at Forbes over the weekend, either on Saturday or Sunday. When it comes out, if you're on this Facebook page, please follow us. You'll be the first to know.
Thank you, everybody. Openthebooks.com. You can always, more donations equals more investigations. We have the best auditors and investigators on the planet. Adam, you get the last word. Anything you want to add to that?
Just see us back next Thursday at 5 p.m. Central.
See you then, everybody. Have a great week.
For the rip off of the week.